Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Are We on the Same Page? I'm your host, David Tare, and today I'm going to talk about an interesting philosophy exercise. It's called the machine. I don't know if you guys have heard this scenario before. I think it's a pretty interesting scenario. Before I go into it, you might wonder what type of machine I'm talking about. This picture here looks like a bunch of guys in hibernation, and it's sort of like that. I mean, I guess it's somewhere between The Matrix. I think most of you guys have probably seen the movie The Matrix, which is basically about a guy, I guess, played by Keanu Reeves. He goes into this machine, and he doesn't even know that he's attached to this machine, but it creates this artificial reality that he thinks is the real reality. So it's got elements of that, but it's also got elements of hibernation. So anyway, I have to describe the scenario for you before I get into it. Yeah, this is a scene from another very famous sci-fi movie, Avatar. I forget the leading actor, but that's him inside one of these hibernation units when he gets to the planet. I forget the name of the planet he was visiting, but you probably saw that movie. It's an excellent movie, by the way. So anyway, what's the scenario of this machine? I have to tell you the rules of this exercise first. So here, I'm just going to read this. Imagine that there's a machine you can enter that will allow you to experience any type of life you want. And you can even plan in advance, say for a month, the scenario of your life, i.e., where and when you're born, who your parents are, where you'll go to school, and so on. The only catch is that once you enter the machine, you can never come out again, and you'll forget forever the real world from which you came. So the question for you guys is, would you enter such a machine? Would you agree to do this? And then, if you would, why? If you wouldn't, why not? I think it's a really interesting exercise. And I actually went to a philosophy meeting maybe 10 years ago or 15 years ago where the leader of our philosophy group presented this exact same exercise to the group. It was a group of about 40 of us. And I was a little bit surprised by the results. It turned out that the vast majority of people decided they wouldn't go into this machine. I think it was about 80%. There were like 8 people said they would, and I think the rest said they wouldn't, including me. Even though I think I've had a pretty crappy life, so I guess that's just what I want to discuss. I mean, would you or wouldn't you go in this machine, and why or why not? Well, the reasons I gave why I wouldn't. I guess there's a few reasons I wouldn't. I think the main reason is that if everybody was able to do this, I mean, this is kind of the Kantian utilitarian view. I mean, according to Kant, there's something called the categorical imperative, which said that we should all act in such a way that if everybody did, the world would be a better place. Well, would the world be better a place if everybody escaped into this machine? No, obviously, because look what you're leaving behind. I mean, say the world was a lot of shitty stuff was going on in the world, which I think is true. I mean, I don't think anybody can doubt right now. There's a lot of shit going on, especially today. So is everybody just supposed to escape into this machine, leave the real world behind, and let it go to hell? I mean, I don't think so. I think that's a very selfish motive. You can't just be thinking about yourself. You have to be thinking about the rest of the world too. And I think that was the main reason I said I wouldn't go into this machine. I mean, it's very tempting, right? You can have any kind of life you want. I mean, I guess there's other issues too. I mean, could you really plan your life properly? A lot of people say be careful for what you wish for. I mean, this machine is like a magical machine. It can make all your dreams come true. Just think about it. You could have a whole month to think about exactly the kind of life you want to have. And I'm sure most of us have dreamed of better lives for ourselves. We probably all dream we're multimillionaires or, I don't know if we all care about being super rich. I think most people do. But maybe we don't want to make the same mistakes in this world we're going into that we made in this one. Maybe we want different parents. Maybe you want to grow up in a different environment. Maybe you're poor when you were born. You grew up in a ghetto and you want to grow up in a nice neighborhood and have nice parents and have everything kind of set up for you nicely. Maybe you want to treat to a nice, beautiful island in the tropics and just enjoy the sun all the time. I mean, there's a lot of things we all want. There's a lot of dreams we all have, obviously. So it's very tempting. It's very enticing. I think it is. I mean, I can think of some things I'd want if I could do this. I mean, I think, the first thing I'd want is to be born in a really good environment. I guess I'd want to be born, I think I'd still want to be born in the United States, probably in the 1950s. I think I was born about 10 years too late. I would have liked to experience the 60s in its full glory. I would have liked to have gone to Woodstock. I would have liked to have demonstrated against Vietnam. I would have liked to enjoy all the 60s music when it was popular at the time. I would have liked to do a lot of other stuff too. I think I would have liked to get into computers earlier. Maybe I'd like to have gone to MIT, become an MIT professor, be one of the world's leading experts in computer technology. There's a lot of things I would have liked to have done. They say hindsight's 2020 though, and I don't know. There might be unforeseen consequences of doing all this. I mean, I think if sometimes I wish I could have been an engineer when I was in my 20s, because I think I would have been a really good engineer. I might have even been able to figure out how to make fusion energy work. But, maybe there's other things that would have gone bad. Maybe I would have become a couch potato. Maybe I wouldn't have had the appreciation of the arts that I have today, Maybe I wouldn't be doing videos like this. Maybe I'd be sitting at home and, who knows? Maybe I'd just be sitting on the couch and watching my favorite movies or my favorite TV shows, eating chips in front of the TV. Maybe, maybe women wouldn't go for me because I'd be too much of a nerd. Who the hell knows? But, I don't think I could plan all these things in advance. So, I think we kind of have to do the best we can with the life we have. Because the fact is we can't go into this machine. At least today we can't. Maybe someday we will be able to do this. So this is maybe an exercise for the future. And, another interesting thing I think about this machine is that I think we're kind of building this machine already in a lot of ways. I mean, think about it. Think how much we're escaping. We have a very escapist culture right now, particularly here in America. I mean, everybody wants to escape. That's kind of what vacations are. Vacations are an escape from the real world. And, amusement parks are a big escape, and movies are a big escape. And I think they're becoming more and more escapist. It's almost like we want to experience the movie. We like 3D. We put on our 3D glasses. When we go to amusement parks, we like the thrill of, roller coaster rides where it looks like we're going inside a demon or something. We all get thrills out of that kind of stuff. And I think there's too much of that in our culture already. I think we have to kind of deal more with the real world we're in, nature. And I think we're kind of, at least here in America, probably in a lot of the rest of the world too, but I think mostly in America, we're, our society, we've kind of lost touch with nature. I mean, I don't know how many guys have gone on, hikes up in the mountains. I mean, I've been to Yosemite, I've been to Yellowstone, I've been to like 20 national parks, and they're beautiful. And it's natural beauty. I mean, God gave us this beautiful planet. We might as well enjoy what He gave us, Why do we have to create our own world to escape it to? I mean, yeah, there's a lot of fun man-made stuff we've made. I mean, a lot of the stuff I'm talking about, I enjoy myself, so I guess I'm being a little bit of a hypocrite here, because I love amusement parks. I mean, my idea of heaven is a big, giant amusement park. I think everybody have different ideas of heaven. My idea of heaven is a big, huge amusement park where you could experience any kind of ride you want or any kind of simulation you want. You could have all the best food in the world. You could eat lobster all the time. That's my view of heaven. And of course, there'd be beautiful women everywhere, I mean, everybody has their own view of heaven, but do we want to just imagine that world and go live in it? I mean, maybe we're here for a reason, So I think that this machine is a little bit too escapist for me. And, even though the beginning of my life, I'm going to share something with you guys. Maybe I shouldn't do this, but I'd say the first half of my life really sucked. I mean, I'm 62 years old right now. And, I used to fantasize about committing suicide when I was a teenager. And then when I was in my 20s, I was so down and out, I didn't even really see any good reason to go on living. Things were so bad to me. I don't want to go into the details, but I'm glad I got out of it. I mean, I was even hospitalized for a month back in 1989. I'd say my life has gradually improved since the 90s, and now I'd say I'm pretty happy. But I'm kind of lucky, too. I think it's lucky that I'm still alive. because I was seriously thinking about committing suicide. I never attempted it, and I'm glad I didn't. But I think I'm lucky that I've made it this far. And I'm pretty happy that I did. And now I can't even imagine ending my life. And I don't want to go into any kind of machine because I just want to enjoy the rest of my life, not just for me, but for everybody else I care about. And I want to try to make a difference. I mean, I want to make sure Trump doesn't win. I think that's really, really critical right now. I'm going to vote for Harris. I'm not just going to vote for Harris, but I'm going to encourage many other people to do so too, because I think if Trump wins, America won't be a democracy anymore. We'll become a dictatorship, and I just don't even want to imagine that. So, I feel like I'm here for a reason, and I want to do my part to make the world a better place, and I don't need to escape into a machine. I just want to try to do my part to make the world a better place, and I think we all have to do that. And like my shirt said, this is a quote by Gandhi: "We must be the change we wish to see in the world." That's what I believe. So think about that one. And anyway, I guess that's all I have to say about the machine. I hope I didn't preach you guys too much. But thank you for watching, and my new motto is keep thinking. So I'll see you guys next time. Bye.